Hi, what's gratitude? How do you define gratitude? When was the last time you actually felt gratitude? I'm Spencer Combs with Spencer Combs Resources, and I wanted to share a little bit about how I define what gratitude is. Now, this is going to be a video in a three-part series. The next one, we're going to talk about why it's important and how it actually affects everything around us. And then the third piece to this puzzle, we're going to actually talk about the nuts and bolts, or how to create gratitude. So what is gratitude? It's really easy to get a feeling or a sense of gratitude in the big dramatic moments in our lives. I remember specifically waking up in an ambulance, looking around, and actually I could barely look around because one eye was swollen shut, but I could see out enough of my right eye to ask the guy in the ambulance what had happened. I was extremely grateful after I got past all the shock and the situation of what had happened, in that I had a seizure, hit a telephone pole at about 50 miles an hour. That was the estimated speed. I was grateful after I got past all of that shock to know that if it had been 20 more yards forward, I would have actually cleared the bridge and it ended up on the interstate. Had the engineers that designed that specific car not made the engine where it would break apart and the transmission would break apart, I would end up with motor in my lap. At which point, obviously, I'm standing today and I'm grateful. See, it's easy to create a sense of gratitude in the big dramatic things. Well, what is gratitude? I'm going to tell you it's a state. And if you've ever been to one of our weekend events, or if you've ever done anything with us personally one-on-one, we have discussed at some point the requirement to manage and control and drive and hold on to our own states, because the world is constantly pressing on information to us. If you think about it, we're driven by what shocks us, what grabs our attentions. Look at some of the headlines on all the ads and the things you go by. People are doing everything they can to grab our attention. They're grabbing your attention. And what happens is we become very reactive. And when we react, we tend to pay attention to what we don't have in our life. So our state needs to be managed. We need to learn how to control it. And gratitude is a state. Now, here's my definition. What I believe gratitude is. It is a narrative of abundance. So here's my question for you today before we go into our next video. When we have that, I'm going to roll that one out. But today, I want you to think about, what is my story? What's the narrative I have around all the things that I have that are abundant in my life? What things in my life, tangible and intangible, do I have in my life that create abundance, or I have abundantly? It's a state. It's a feeling. So we're going to talk about why this is important tomorrow and how it affects everything else in our lives. Just ask yourself the question, what's the narrative? All right? So again, I'm Spencer Combs. I'm here to help you move forward. I want you to stop settling and start moving forward. Keep well and keep moving forward. Thanks.